white blindness is? It's comfort without consequence, reward without reflection. It's not a mistake, it's design. Most of us float through life thinking things are fair, that everyone gets a shot, that racism is some fringe relic. Those beliefs exist because we've never been forced to learn otherwise. This blindness doesn't come from ignorance alone. It comes from protection, deliberate insulation. The system makes damn sure we never have to see past our own skin. That is white blindness, the illusion of equality in a rigged game. We don't see the fire because we're standing in the only part of the building that is not burning. We don't recognize systemic racism because we don't endure it. It's not aimed at us. It doesn't stalk our children, target our bodies, or deny us opportunity. Instead, it shields us. Our lives are calibrated for comfort while others are suffocating under the weight of generational injustice. Propaganda feeds this comfort. It shows up in schools and movies, on the news, in the myths we were raised on. Slavery ended in 1865. We had a black president. Bullshit. Slavery didn't end, it evolved. The 13th Amendment legalized it through mass incarceration. As of 2025, over 800,000 people, mostly black and brown, are trapped in U.S. prisons, working for cents or for nothing at all. What's worse, we see classism. We see classism because we live it. We know hunger. We know the sting of an empty wallet and an eviction notice. Class war is obvious to us when you're broke. We don't hesitate to curse the billionaires and the CEOs, but when someone points out that racism intersects with that same class war, hits black and brown folks harder, we shut down. We question it. We demand proof. We act like race is an afterthought instead of a driving force. Fact. Black Americans are 5 times more likely to be incarcerated than white folks. Students who are black are 3 times more likely to be suspended. And the wealth gap, still staggering. Black families barely hold 1/10 of the wealth of white ones. Even now, in housing, jobs, education, healthcare, every system, every metric, black people they face obstacles white folks are spared. And still, many white folks say, that's not my fault. Maybe not, but here's the truth. You're still benefiting from it and choosing to ignore it.
Good people, welcome back to the channel. This is Awaken Africa. This is where we dig into the uncomfortable truth, the raw realities. This is where the stories that they don't want you to question, this is where we put them stories, man. Today we're going to react to the concept that might shake the ground you stand on. Something they call white blindness. Alright? So, you've probably heard things like, we all get the same chances. Slavery ended in 1865. Or we had a black president, racism is over. But what if I told you that all of that was just part of the illusion? The illusion of equality in a game that was rigged from the beginning. Today's reaction isn't just about outrage or blame. It's about understanding how deeply embedded systems, from prisons to paychecks to school books, are designed not to malfunction, but to function exactly this way. Not by accent, but by design. So if you're white, sorry, this might be very uncomfortable to you. If you're black or brown, this might be familiar. Either way, we are going to unpack how comfort, silence, and the myth of meritocracy uphold the entire structure, and why we must stop pretending the game is fair. Good people, sit back, grab your popcorns, grab your cup of coffee. I'll be back with my further analysis.
That is your fault. You're walking through a system that lets you move freely while others are hunted, and you call that normal? Some say, I'm not racist. Well, that's not enough. Being polite doesn't undo a violent system. Not saying slurs doesn't erase redlining, segregation, or police brutality. Silence keeps the machine running. Neutrality is a shield for power. This isn't about guilt. It's about responsibility. You didn't build the system, but you are riding the wave. And if you're not fighting to dismantle it, you are helping to hold it up. White privilege is not about luxury, it's about escape. We get to avoid the worst parts of the system. We don't have to teach our kids how to survive a traffic stop. We aren't assumed guilty before speaking. That's power, even if we didn't ask for it. Use that power to do something. Read, listen, show up, stop centering yourself. Don't wait for someone to educate you. Your black friend is not their responsibility. Go get uncomfortable on purpose. Make mistakes, apologize, learn, grow, then get back in the fight. Angela Davis said, "It is not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist." That means action. It means confrontation. It means risking comfort, risking reputation, risking silence. Others risk their lives just walking down the street. Stop pretending it's someone else's problem. Stop treating racism like a ghost story. It's real, it's deadly, and it's baked into every corner of this country. If you benefit from it, you have a duty to fight it. No more hiding. No more passivity, no more comfortable blindness. Tear the damn blindfold off. Either get in the fight or get the hell out of the way. Revolution ain't some pipe dream or slogan on a protest sign. It is survival now. It's been a long time coming, generations deep. I've had this conversation in foxholes, rehab centers, picket lines, prison yards, and kitchen tables with working folks, conservatives, liberals, leftists, hell. Most people don't even label themselves anymore because no matter what they believed in, the system betrayed them all the same. Left them broke, sick, buried in debt, or dead. This system doesn't malfunction. It functions to funnel every resource, every drop of labor, every moment of your life straight into the pockets of a handful of oligarchs. That's not a bug. It's the design. They give us elections, but not democracy. Wages, but not dignity. Laws, but no justice. Rights on paper and cages in practice. Right now in 2025, 3 men control more wealth than half of the U.S. population. Half. While 60% of Americans can't even handle a $500 emergency. Rents are up 30%, wages are stagnant, over 1 million people are homeless, and our life expectancy is dropping. Meanwhile, politicians argue over who deserves health care. And billionaires build bunkers in New Zealand. And every time we rise up, they crush us. Not metaphorically, literally. They murdered Fred Hampton in his sleep. They hounded MLK until a bullet finished what the FBI started. They locked up Asada, sabotaged unions, infiltrated Black Panthers, Occupy, Standing Rock, BLM, all of it. Not because those people were violent, but because they dared to build power outside of the state. They dared to dream collectively. I've heard old guys at the Legion Hall say, "We fought for freedom." And I believe them, but we didn't bring it home. We fought to protect corporate interests. We fought in wars that made contractors rich and left our friends in body bags. You come home and what's waiting? VA backlog, no jobs, opioids, a court system that treats you like a disposable nuisance. And they got the nerve to call that freedom. What we've got is a machine, one that chews through human beings and spits out profit. It feeds off of division, black versus white, rural versus urban, citizen versus migrant, man versus woman, anything to keep us turning on each other instead of looking up at the parasites bleeding us dry. This ain't a red state versus blue state problem. It's a class war, and most of us are losing because we've been told the enemy is our neighbor. You ever read Eugene Debs? He said, while there is a lower class, I am in it. While there is a criminal element, I am of it. That's not just poetry, it is commitment. We're not going to get out of this by voting blue every 4 years or buying a hybrid car. We're not going to be ethical consumers out of genocide. The system's got its boot on our neck and asks us to be civil about it. We know they ain't going to give us power. They have to be made to give it up. That's what revolution is. Not chaos, not blood in the streets. It's mass refusal. It's a general strike. It's workers taking the factories, tenants taking the buildings. It's communities feeding each other, protecting each other, replacing this death cult economy with something human. Liberals want reform, conservatives want a reset, but both of those still assume the system can be saved. I'm here to say it can't. This system is in crisis. It's a burning house, and we're still arguing about whether to call the fire department or paint the walls. I say we build a new house, not for profit, but for people. Angela Davis said, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. I can't accept children freeze to death while billionaires take tax breaks. I can't accept another generation crushed by debt, war, and addiction. I can't accept a system that rewards cruelty, punishes kindness, and sells us back our own humanity at a 19% APR. We need revolution. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because the longer we wait, the worse it gets. The fire's already started. Question is, are we going to let it consume us? Or are we finally going to rise from it? Because I'm telling you, no one's coming to save us. We're it. You ever notice how in this country, just trying to survive is treated like a damn crime? Being broke is criminalized. Addiction locked up. Mental illness punished. Homelessness ticketed. Parenthood, while poor, they take your kids. Not because you're violent, not because you're dangerous, but because you need help. Because you slipped. Because you're drowning in a system that built the water and tied the weights to your ankles. Let me tell you something most folks won't say out loud. Poverty is violence, and it ain't some accident. It's structured. It's engineered. The whole damn system profits off poor people staying desperate. They act like the jails are full of bad people. Nah, they're full of poor people, sick people, people who got high to numb the pain or lashed out because no one ever showed them love. But you won't see no CEOs behind bars for gutting pensions or landlords fined for letting families freeze in the winter. You steal a loaf of bread to eat, you're a criminal. They steal millions with a pen, they get a bonus. I got locked up more for being broke and sick than I ever did for hurting anyone. You check yourself into a hospital because you're not okay. Next thing you know, you're in paper scrubs with handcuffs on the bed. You try to get sober and they call it liability. You say you're struggling and they say you're unstable. You fall, they stomp on you. And if you're a parent, God help you, because now you're unfit. Now you're dangerous. Now they take your kid before they ever hand you a lifeline. And don't tell me it's just a few bad policies. The whole system is rotten. You think the police are out here protecting us? Protecting anyone? Nah, they're just the cleanup crew for capitalism, caging symptoms while the cause walks free. Over 70% of people in jails across America haven't even been convicted of anything. They're just too poor to post bail. They're stuck, forgotten, tossed aside like trash. Mental health ain't a crime. Addiction ain't a crime. Being homeless, hungry, being hurt ain't crimes. But this country treats them like felonies and gets rich off locking us up, stripping us of our dignity, our kids, and our futures. That's why there's over 2 million people in cages right now in the so-called land of the free. That's why we got 25% of the world's prisoners, but only 4% of the population. This ain't freedom. That's slavery with extra steps. And don't come at me with that reform talk. We tried that. We voted. We marched. We begged. You cannot reform a boot stomping on your neck. You rip the damn boot off. You burn it. You build something better with each other, for each other. No more charity. No more begging. Mutual aid, direct action, and community defense. That's the way forward. The state don't care if we die. So we gotta care for each other like our lives depend on it, cause they do. No more shame, no more silence, no more pretending this is normal. We survived their violence. Now we organize to end.
So guys, welcome back to the channel, and I would like to break everything systematically. Number one, let us talk about the criminal justice scam. So let us start here. Black people are 5 times more likely to be incarcerated than white folks. 5 times. We are talking about a system that where poverty is criminalized, where survival is a sentence, and where over 70% of people locked up haven't been convicted. They're just too broke for bail. That's not justice. That's exploitation. Mass incarceration isn't just racism. It is capitalism in handcuffs. Prison labor today is modern day slavery. Let that sink in, guys. Number 2, racial capitalism, profiting off black pain. Listen, this system feeds off on division. It bleeds value from black and brown bodies to fuel white wealth. From slavery to redlining to low wages, we've seen the pattern. Everyone has seen the pattern. Like, it's just crazy. It's just diabolical. Like, I can't just even fathom this. Like, you know what? This is just about lazy people. It's about a machine that profits off desperation, man. Okay, while billionaires build bankers, they debate if poor people deserve healthcare. That's not policy. That's cruelty. Number 3, the myth of meritocracy. Just work harder. That's the land they sell. They'll tell you, know what, you need to put in the work, just work hard, you need to show up. Man, like, when a black kid from a low income neighborhood is held to the same standard as a white kid from a ghetto suburb, is that fair? Is that merit? You tell me in the comments. Or is that blindness to the reality of structural obstacles? Meritocracy without equity is just a lie dressed up in a suit. Number 4, white blindness and historical amnesia. So, here's the dangerous part, by the way. I came to realize that many white folks don't see any of this. Yeah, that's why I've earlier stated that if you're a white person, this might be very uncomfortable for you. And not because they're evil, but because they don't have to. That's the real privilege. They escape the root. The system shields them from having to look like, they have the white privilege. Schools erase the past. Movies glorify the present. And the result? A society that can't connect slavery to incarceration or redlining to the wealth gap. That's not just ignorance. It's the design. It is designed to be the way exactly it is. And then you find cultural propaganda and comfort zones, right? So whiteness is treated as the default in schools, media, politics. Everyone else is diverse. This constant centering insulates white communities from seeing the lives of others. And when they do see racism, they are told it's the past, or worse, it's just a myth. So I don't, you guys roger with me? Well, as I finish, I'd like to say that the system isn't broken. It has never been broken. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. And there's the truth that hurts. If you're not actively dismantling it, I want you to get this line very well. This is the truth that hurts everyone when you say this. Like, if you're not working to dismantling it, then you're just out there helping to hold it up or building it up or even adding momentum to it. That's the correct statement to put across there. White blindness isn't accidental. It's structural. It's comfortable. It's profitable. Until more people wake up, we'll keep repeating this deadly loop each and every day of our lives. We're still going to be talking about this. We need more hashtags. I mean, we don't need more hashtags. We need redistribution of power, of wealth, of truth. You can't reform a boot on your neck. You can't just do that. You can't reform a boot on your neck. Like, you rip it off, you burn it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And you build something better together, right? So, like, you guys, I always say, stay woke, stay loud, always question everything, ask questions. Don't be contented with whatever the media is telling you. Don't be contented with whatever these white supremacists, these racism apologists, they do say, or these leftists, they do say. Don't be comfortable with whatever they say or they do. Question. That's the word for today. Tell me what you think in the comments. Right? Like this video. Subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Let us meet in my next video. Peace out.